Hey there, everyone. I was in our Courage Collective leadership training yesterday with Chantel Adams and a bunch of other amazing women leaders who are out there using their voice to inspire and motivate others. And we were talking about courage, and I just wanted to do a quick little video about how unknowingly our parents steal our worth from us. Because my whole why for the Courage Collective is all about stepping into your power and owning your worth. And so I had the privilege of speaking at Women Rising at the end of May. And afterwards, I was talking to my dad on the phone, and I was sharing with him how being a part of Women Rising and being able to speak to a room full of heart-centered women and share my message, that it felt right and that it felt like home, that it was like peaceful, and the energy in the room was so safe and just empowering. And I said, I found my purpose. Like, I think this is what I'm meant to do. I said, because this feels like home to me, having that connection with the women and be able to make a positive impact more globally. And my dad's response to me was, well, don't go and get a big head now. And it wasn't from a place of criticism or anything like that. Like, my dad's love is profound. So I wasn't offended by it, but it was such a beautiful example of how his generation, they were taught to not own their gifts and to not celebrate that, and how society, has trained him that if you own your gifts and if you own your worth, then that makes you arrogant, or that makes you cocky, or that makes you full of yourself. And so for him, it was, okay, don't get a big head about this. And for me, it was, wait, we're supposed to celebrate our gifts. What I teach people and what I want to inspire people to know is to embrace your gifts and celebrate them. Celebrate your worth and own it for the divine right that it is. And so it was just so interesting to me, because there's such this misconception that if we own our worth and if we celebrate our unique gifts that we all have, that then that's going to make us arrogant or self-absorbed. When arrogance and being self-absorbed is when you think you're better than someone else. So it's two very different things. So you can embrace your gifts and you can say, like, hell yeah, I'm good at baking. And I know that there's like thousands of other amazing bakers in the world, and that there's bakers that are even better than me, but I can say baking feels like home, like, for example. And that doesn't make you arrogant. That doesn't make you conceited. It doesn't make you, like, have a big head. It just means you're owning your worth. Now, if you were to say, I'm a better baker than everybody else, then that's a different story, because then you're creating these categories of, people's worth. Then you're categorizing people's worth when our worth is equal. And so I believe our worth is equal, and I believe everybody deserves to celebrate their gifts. And so when you find your purpose and when you step into it and it feels like home, like that warm, cozy blanket that feels like home, it's okay to celebrate that. And it's okay to say it out loud and say, hey, like, this feels like home, and I love this, and I want to do this, and this is my calling. And it doesn't mean that you're arrogant. It doesn't mean that you have to say, hey, don't get a big head, because you know that there are other people that have that gift too. You know that you are no better or no less valuable than the next person. So I just want you guys to remember that difference, that you can step into your worth and you can own it and celebrate it. And you can shout it from the rooftops of, hell yes, this is what my gift is, and this is what I love to do. And it doesn't make you arrogant. But when you take it to the next level and say, I'm better than somebody else, or you try to put somebody else down in order for you to rise, then that's a different story. So don't worry about getting a big head. As long as you're loving on everybody else along the way, then it's okay to embrace and celebrate your gifts too. So Parents out there, remember that when you're teaching your kids. Teach them to celebrate their gifts and to celebrate other people's gifts as well, and that their gifts are equally as important as the next one. That way we're not stealing their worth out from under them without even realizing it. So thanks so much for listening, Chantel. This is my why video for Courage Collective. Thanks, you guys. I would love if you PM me if you had any questions or comments, or share stories of when this has happened to you. When has your self-worth been stolen from you by this whole fear, cultural fear of appearing that we are arrogant or conceited? So I'd love to hear that. Let's open this conversation. Much love.